Hey boys and girls, happy Sunday. It's Limes, another episode of the Limes Opinion, and I'd like to take a moment today to talk about toxic fandom and how that affects, different communities, be it horror, science fiction, comic book. When I was a kid growing up in the 70s, fandom was very different. It was, there was no internet. So we were all very scattered out. And it was more a case of, you knew someone who knew someone and you got into a conversation and, oh, you like Doctor Who? I like Doctor Who. You like Star Trek? You like Space 1999? Whatever. There were fan clubs, but it wasn't the same way where you've got these sort of discussion groups that you have online now. It was a case of literally, some guy in his house in Middlesex was, doing like a Battlestar Galactica fan thing, and you mailed off to join, and, there would be letters back and forth, pen pals, that kind of thing. Really different, hugely different, and if you're one of these people that sort of, was born in the internet age and, this is all you've ever known now, it's very difficult to kind of imagine, the way that was. And you know what my jam was as a kid? Always was, still is. I'm almost 50 now and I still love it to death. Battlestar Galactica. And me, I love all Galactica. I'm telling you, obviously the original show pulled me in. I saw it on Laserdisc, the first movie at a friend's house when I was a kid in the 70s. I was like, wow, what is this? This blew my mind, right? And, and then we got the remake that came out in the 2000s, which I thought was equally amazing. Updated it, freshened it up, did an amazing job of that. I've read all the books, the comic books. I even stick up for the much maligned Battlestar Galactica spin-off Galactica 80. And, that was pretty fucking bad, But bottom line, I'm a huge fan, massive fan. I'll take the fucking Pepsi challenge with anyone when it comes to Battlestar Galactica. So how does this come back to toxic fandom? Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to name names or anything like that. Don't embarrass anyone. But I just want to point out a weird incident that happened to me over the weekend, right? So I recently joined one of these Battlestar Galactica Facebook groups. And, it's clearly something, to be fair to the group, it's clearly centered around a lot of love for the original show, and I'm cool with that and understand that. But, you'll get people posting stuff in there from the new show and just knocking the shit out of it. This crap, look at this, remember this, oh my god, Starbuck was a woman, this other fucking shit, right? And it's just, so it gets to a point where you're like, what, hang on, come on. Listen, if you're going to come at it from one angle, be prepared to listen to another angle. It's one thing to come in and be a troll. I understand that. Nobody needs trolling in your group. But if you got somebody saying, look, this is shit, and it's garbage, it's crap, and it's all right, my childhood, and all these other rubbish, garbage phrases that people come out with. And then you get somebody that just wants to say, well, hang on, how about looking at it like this? Richard Hatch was not a fan. I had a great conversation with Richard Hatch back in the early 2000s, who was obviously Captain Apollo on the original show. This is a guy who invested a lot in trying to get that show back up and running on the air. Like, he really did. And he wrote fantastic books about the original mythology. They really are great. And at the point where I met him, Hatch was not on board with the remake. He really wasn't. And he was a little upset, that he'd invested in shooting a new trailer for trying to do like a reboot of the original show. And I get it. This guy invested a lot. But you want to know something? Even he came around to it. Even he came around to the new show, and he ended up playing a character on there that anyone that loves the new show remembers. He played a terrorist leader called Tom Zarek, and his character was fucking fantastic. It wasn't just some, let's get one of the guys from the original show in to do a cameo. Like, he had a great character. He had a fantastic story arc with an amazing ending. Like, an absolutely fucking amazing ending. Right? So to me, it's just like, listen, you don't have to like it, but don't be so fucking hateful about it. Well, anyway, bottom line, I, in this group, came out with the line, so say we all, which was a line there, and one of the admins went off on me. Don't fuck it. Oh, we didn't swear. Don't say that garbage line in here, it's rubbish. Nobody ever said it on the original show. You say that again and you're gonna get banned. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is your problem? And, I turned around and said, like, all I said was like, why? Are you serious? Like, next thing, boom, kicked out of the group, right? Booted out. Whatever. Like, I gotta ask, where does that kind of obsessive hatred of a television show come from? Like, that's pretty frightening when you're that sucked into something to the point that you can't even have civil discourse with people. Like, really? And you know what? You get the people that say, like, wow, it's their house, they make the rules. If someone come into your house and started smoking, you wouldn't like it, would you? That is the stupidest goddamn argument I've ever heard in my life. And I'm going to tell you for why. Smoking is antisocial behavior. Someone comes into your house and you say, don't smoke, and they start smoking in your house. Of course you're going to kick them out. It's the same as if they started wiping boogers on your chair and you're like, don't do that. You know, or pissing on the carpet. Of course you're going to kick them out. It's not the same as if you're sitting there with your friend, flicking through the channels, and you happen to come across the remake of Halloween, and your friend and you say, oh, Jesus, I fucking hate this film. And your friend says, well, you know, I actually kind of like that. Are you going to turn around to your friend and say, you like that film? Get the fuck out of my house, you fucking asshole! Like, what? Like, really? One of my best friends on the planet. Him and I very rarely see eye to eye on... There's so many films we disagree on, it's insane. You know, I rented space in his basement years ago, and regularly I would be sitting down there watching the Marvel movie or something. He'd come creeping down the stairs and, hey, you watching now? Blah, 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 whatever. But you know what? You turn around and start, like, kicking your friends out because they don't like what you like. You're not going to have many friends for very long. So you know what? If you're going to start using arguments like that, you know, smoking, and that's just stupidity. You're making excuses for bullshit behavior. And, you know, I'll call you out on that. All right? It makes no sense. There you go. And it's not just Battlestar, you know, it's everywhere you go. It's you know, like the new Star Trek. Oh, Discovery, that's crap. That's not real Star Trek. Picard, oh my God, they don't understand Star Trek. Picard would have never done that. Like, just shut the fuck up and let people enjoy it. All right? Listen, I've been opinionated with this kind of shit as well, right? But you know what? As I get older, you know, it's like, there's one thing about passing your opinion. It's another thing calling people complete fucking idiots because they don't like what you like in a television show. Fucking Star Trek. It's not real Star Trek. It's not real Battlestar Galactica. Oh, Doctor Who could never be a woman. These are not real characters. They're not real. It's fake. It's a story. Enjoy it. Seriously. So I want to bring this back to horror and bring it to iScreemZ and sort of wrap it up because there's a point that I want to make here at the end, right? Last night I'm sitting down in my front room and I wanted to watch something. So I went on to Shudder and I put on 3 from Hell, the latest Rob Zombie movie with the after the House of a Thousand Corpses and the Devil's Rejects, and got 3 from Hell. Didn't like it, right? You know what? I don't dig Rob Zombie's movies. I really don't. I didn't, you know, I've tried, but it's just not for me, you know, right? But do you know what I did? I turned it off and I watched something else instead. And you know what? If somebody wants to come on to iScreemZ and talk about 3 from Hell or House of a Thousand Corpses or any one of 100 other movies I don't like, that's fine. And you know what? If people can't accept that, then go somewhere else. I want discussion. I want people to talk about these things. You know what? I also wasn't a fan of the Halloween remake. And you know what? I was pretty vocal about that. And I'll be honest, I admit that. I was very vocal about that. But you know what? I dialed it back. Because, you know, I think, hey, look, you know what? If people are enjoying it, then that's fine, right? If it keeps Michael Myers on the screen, whatever. It's fine. It's okay. And you know what? I went to a horror convention there in, it was Frightmare in the Falls. The year before last, and I met a really nice young fella there. He was about 17 years old, and got into it. He was a big Halloween fan. Got into a discussion about the new Halloween and Halloween franchise in general. And I said to him, you know what? I really wasn't a fan of the new Halloween, and this is why. This reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. And he said to me, well, you know, I see what you're saying, but here's why I liked it, and here's why I felt it worked. And you know what? listen to his reasons, and I don't like the film still, but I see where he's coming from, right? Just from listening. Crazy how that works, eh? Just listening, right? Limes, I'm out of here. Peace.